the Sun conjunct Pluto, and this is one of those aspects that I was talking about earlier. When you have a conjunction, it's a harder, it's a blending, it's more intense. And then you add Pluto into that and the sun. Those are like extreme polar opposites. You got the sun in the center of the universe and Pluto at the furthest, and they're both like coming together and blending their energies. And this is a day that is going to be intense. Things that could be intense. This could be something that might appear or come out of nowhere that all of a sudden is coming to light with the sun and Pluto. So this could be a very interesting day for sure.
Yeah, this is the 20th of January. A lot going on at this time. We've got, I believe, Mercury coming out of its retrograde shadow period. So if you had issues with Mercury retrograde, hopefully they're getting cleared up. But yeah, Sun conjunct Pluto. Pluto's power plays, its intensity and depth and transformation. And the sun is, associated with us now, intellect and all that. So this could be really good in that you may feel quite powerful. It's at 29 degrees of Capricorn. Well, not just 29 degrees, but 29 degrees and 59 minutes. It's 1 minute away from moving into Aquarius, which they both will do later that day. And when we say 1 minute in astrology, we're not talking about a literal minute, but this is, this is as close as it can get to being at the end of Capricorn before it goes into Aquarius. And Pluto is going to duck back into Capricorn later in the year, but it will be the very last time it does duck into there. So maybe whatever house Capricorn is in your natal chart is going to be, maybe this will be like, I know what I need to do, because yes, there's going to be that one last visit of Pluto to that house, but this is kind of like, okay, I think I know what I was supposed to do, or I understand what lessons or transformations happened in this house. And I just think it could be quite powerful. Really interesting too that at the time of the exact conjunction, we have the moon coming up within, what's that, 7 minutes
Seven
to
seconds.
trine it.
Oh, 7 minutes. Yeah.
7 minutes to trine that. So that's within an hour or so, it's going to exactly trine that. So yeah, maybe for some people there will be an actual event or happening or something that's kind of like, okay, yeah, this really, because the moon can trigger events. And yeah, I just think this could be really, if you've had issues and drama to do with whatever house Capricorn's been, represents in your chart, the people and topics, maybe this is kind of like, oh, okay, maybe this is the beginning of the end of dealing with those issues in the Capricorn house. So I think it's going to be a very interesting day.
And this is the one time when the sun and Pluto are getting together. And that starts a cynotic cycle. So that tells the planet what they're going to be doing for a whole entire year. So every time that sun hits a planet, it only hits it once for a year, but this is it. This is when when Pluto is getting informed basically of what it's going to be doing for a whole other year, and it's setting it up for the energy for the rest of the year, so or for the rest of the for the rest of this year. So this is a very important day to be definitely watching. I would definitely journal. It's not an increase or an ingress, but I would definitely journal on this day. This is a planetary blending that needs to be taken seriously and noticed, because it will be serious and it will be noticed with the intensity of that Pluto has. It's something is there that needs to be expressed, and the sun is telling Pluto it's now time to start expressing it. So
yeah, that's really good, valid point. And it makes me think too, this is the last time the Sun and Pluto will meet up in Capricorn, because
Mm,
by the time
mhm.
they meet up next time, they will both be in Aquarius. So yeah,
Aquarius.
this is the very last time the Sun and Pluto will meet for that, powwow for the Sun to tell the Pluto, what its mission is in Capricorn. So yeah, this is really tying up the end of that Pluto in Capricorn cycle. He is going to go back into Capricorn later, but yeah, this is the beginning of the end.
So if you haven't been paying attention to the messages Pluto has been trying to tell you, this might be the time when you get upside the head, knocked like, whoa, you've been missing out. You haven't been paying attention. And now Pluto's going to take something from you or change something about you. That's pretty intense. So definitely, definitely time to journal.
I'm hoping for many it will be kind of like understanding. I'm almost thinking almost subliminal too for some people, with that
Mm, the
Neptune
moon.
making, it's a wide sextile, but a wide sextile to that Sun Pluto. I think it's kind of like, okay, well, that's what that was all about in that house. Those people, those topics, kind of understanding, maybe even reflecting on what's gone on in the last, since 2008 in that house. And, it doesn't mean that everything was, being hit at every day for since 2008. But, Pluto's been in that house for since 2008. So this is kind of wrapping things up. It's getting ready to move on. And when I said the beginning of the end, that can sound a little bit ominous, but it's the beginning of wrapping up everything to do with that, with what's Pluto's tried to achieve while traveling through that
Right.
Capricorn house. And we've referenced, natal charts a lot here. If you don't know your natal chart, you will need to know your time, date, and place of birth. But you can go somewhere like astro.com, plug in those details, or you could reach out to Donna or I, and we could help you figure out what your ascendant sign is, because, this is why reading the ascendant sign horoscopes is important, and why just knowing what houses are ruled by what planets is important, because this is all happening in the Capricorn house. So yeah, if you know what people and topics associated with that house are, you can kind of like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
I like that. It could basically just be like an aha moment, with that moon, I like that. So hopefully you've been paying attention and it's just going to be an aha moment.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully.